You following 75 different people on social media is the reason why you're still scrolling through social media and haven't taken action. You're looking for that dopamine hit. You're constantly searching for it. You're getting inspired, but it doesn't lead to any action. Life is a series of little gains that compound over time. Business owners, they make one big mistake in the beginning, is that they think that their business is different. No, you can't compare me to that business. My business is different. Biggest people make is they have an emotional attachment to money, right? And they come from a scarcity mindset. I had to unlearn that. That took me lots of money in coaching, lots of money in self-development, lots of work on myself to undo 30 plus years of programming and conditioning on how to erase that. And I had to do it because there is no emotional attachment to money. Money is not freedom. If I asked you what's money and you're like, and you start giving me your answers like money is freedom, but I could tell you exactly why you don't have money. If you ask really successful people who have tons of money, they're not giving you emotional answers to what money is. I'm very careful who I let into my head. I forget who taught me this, but your brain's a radio. You have outbound frequencies and you have inbound frequencies that's coming in. So you have to be very careful of what you let inside, because that will determine a lot of the things in your life. So you bring in too much noise confuses you. You following 75 different people on social media is the reason why you're still scrolling through social media and haven't taken action. You're looking for that dopamine hit. You're constantly searching for it. You're constantly looking for that and you're getting inspired, but it doesn't lead to any action. I've now realized that I progress a lot faster when I'm like very careful and I tune that noise down to 1 to 2 people. 1 to 2 people get access that I want, and it's for certain areas that I allow in. And then because I just don't want that confusion in my head. I think it's hard for me not to be in growth mode. That's just the default that I go to. Like I become really good at being self-aware and realizing where my holdups are. And I catch myself still defaulting back into impatience. And that comes when I could tell when I'm being impatient because I'm consuming and then I'm comparing. And then a great book that you should probably read is called The Gap and the Gain. It's are you living in the gap or in the gain? And when I catch myself living in the gap, there's a problem, and then I have to force myself out of it. So the gap and the gain is how you measure yourself. So if you live in the gap, you're comparing yourself from a future ideal version of yourself. So you're sitting there saying, it's like chasing the horizon. You're looking at the horizon and you're like, this is where I want to go, but you can never catch the horizon. It's impossible. So if you keep going and the goalposts of what you want keep moving and are unattainable and they're just an ideal version, you're always going to live in that deficient area, and there's always going to be a break in your mentality of what you want to do. You're living in the gap. But if you looked at yourself of where I've come from, look at where I am at right now compared to where I was a week ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, then you're living in the gain. And it applies to every area of your life. So for example, I could look at my son and be like, man, why is he not sleeping through the night? Let's say, why is he not sleeping through the night fully? He is, but I'm just using this as an example. But why is he not sleeping through the night fully? He should be sleeping through the night by now. I'm judging him by an ideal outcome that I want, that he is not measuring up to. Versus if I look at it being like, man, he slept 2 nights in a row. A week ago, he wasn't sleeping 2 nights in a row, but now he is sleeping 2 nights in a row. I'm now coming from a point of living in the gain and not the gap. That's the premise of it, pretty much. It's being able to understand that it's a journey. Like life is little successes. There's no one that just had massive success unless you win like the lottery. But I'm saying life is a series of little gains that compound over time. I'm a big fan of compounding and doing the little things in your business that compound over time. So that's what it is. It's looking back and being like, okay, look, I'm upset. Why am I upset? My business isn't where it's supposed to be. According to who? Where is it supposed to be? And is that attainable? And where is it compared to where it was a week ago? If it's worse than it was a week ago, man, we got to fix that. But you have worse issues than looking at the horizon. You can have goals. It's great to have goals. It's great to try to achieve certain goals, but you need to be crystal clear, and they need to be measurable goals. They need to be like measurable, attainable goals that you can sit there and look back at and be like, I did this or I didn't do this. I've just seen so many different businesses, right? I've seen through an agency, I've seen under the hood of so many different businesses. I've consulted and worked on so many different businesses, whether they became clients or haven't become clients. I've just seen the back end so many times, and it's business owners, they make one big mistake in the beginning, is that they think that their business is different. No, you can't compare me to that business. My business is different. Sure it is. until it's not, right? Like it should be business. It should be different to you. And maybe I'm a little bit harsh because I've never had that emotional attachment to my business. My business has never been my baby. I have 2 kids. They're my babies. They're my life. I have a 3rd on the way. My business is a means to an end. It's just never been attached to it. If someone came along and said, man, your coaching program is great, you love it? I'm like, love it. And they're like, I'll give you $100 billion right now, but you have to stop. I'm taking the $100 billion. But I don't think I would sell my kid for $100 billion. But so that's the thing. So I've never just been emotionally attached. It goes back to have a pocket full of money. Biggest people make is they have an emotional attachment to money, right? And they come from a scarcity mindset. I had to unlearn that. That took me lots of money in coaching, lots of money in self-development, lots of work on myself to undo 40 years, 30 plus years of programming and conditioning on how to erase that. And I had to do it because there is no emotional attachment to money. Money is not freedom. Money is it's just not optional. That's it. That's the emotional attachment. I had a coach who taught me that. He told me very clearly, and I agree with this, is if you start telling me what money is, if I asked you what's money and you're like, and you start giving me your answers like money is free, but I could tell you exactly why you don't have money. All the answers you're giving me are the reason why you don't have it. Because if you ask really successful people who have tons of money, they're not giving you emotional answers to what money is.